Okay, let's dive right into this explainer, shall we? Today, we're transporting ourselves to the visually epic, totally majestic world of ancient Badami. We're traveling deep into the Bagalkot district of Karnataka, India. And we're going to a place where myth, stone, and sheer human survival just intertwine perfectly. Seriously, it tells this incredible story of a goddess who is, somehow, both a fierce, bloody warrior and a weeping, compassionate mother.
But to truly understand this ancient region and the massive temple complex that stands there today, we really have to start with a thrilling question, one that begins purely in the realm of the divine. Who exactly is the goddess of the forest and the fire?
Section 1. Born from the Fire, the Legend of Tilakaranya.
Well, our story starts not with dates or stones, but with an epic, and I mean epic, mythological battle. So, according to the ancient texts of the Skanda Purana, this region was once the dense Tilakaranya forest, and it was going through an era of absolute terror. There was this fierce demon named Durgamasura, and he was just relentlessly tormenting the local people and the sages who lived there. The situation got so incredibly desperate that the sages performed a massive yajna, a sacred fire sacrifice, appealing directly to the gods for help. And guess what? The gods actually answered. Adishakti, who is a formidable incarnation of the goddess Parvati, emerged directly from the blazing fire of the Yajna Kund. She engaged in this brutal encounter with Durgamasura and ultimately violently vanquished the demon, restoring peace to the realm. This really illustrates the sheer stakes of the legend, right? The gods hear the cries of the tormented sages, and Adishakti literally bursts from the fire to destroy the threat.
And the crazy thing is, when you step into the inner sanctum of the temple today, you see this exact, breathtaking, mythological moment captured in this mesmerizing black stone idol. It's a stunning piece of art. You see the goddess seated on a growling lion, literally crushing the demon Durgamasura right under her foot. She has 8 arms, and each one is wielding divine power. You can spot a trishul or trident, a demaruga or drum, along with a sword, a shield, Vedic scripts, and yep, the severed head of the Asura. It is an image of just absolute victorious power.
Section 2. The Chalukyan royal deity, protectors of the realm.
So let's shift gears from myth to the human realm for a second. Breaking down the etymology is actually a great anchor for us here. The name Banashankari is derived from 2 Sanskrit words. Vana, which morphed into Bana in the local Kannada adaptation, means forest, and Shankari means the consort of Lord Shankara, which is just another name for Parvati. Put those together, and she is quite literally the goddess of the forest.
Now here's the absolutely crucial point. The Chalukyas supported a lot of religious orders throughout their vast kingdom. We're talking Vaishnavite, Shaivite, Jain traditions, the whole shebang. But out of all of them, they chose this fierce forest goddess as their ultimate protector. They officially anointed her as their Kuladevi, their family deity. They literally built an empire with her watching over them.
Section 3. Evolution in stone. Architectural shifts over centuries.
603. Now that is a massive number for historians. Epigraphic inscriptions tell us that King Jagadekamal I officially installed the goddess's image way back around 603 or 630 CE. Just think about that. People have been continuously worshiping at this specific sacred site for over 1,400 years.
And because of that incredible timeline, we can visually trace the passage of time through the temple's architectural shifts. So the original foundation in the 7th century was built by those Badami Chalukyas in the classic Dravidian architectural style. But let's skip ahead to the 18th century, specifically 1750 CE. A Maratha chieftain named Parashuram Agale spearheaded a major reconstruction. And because of his influence, the modern structure we look at today actually reflects the Vijayanagara style of architecture much more than the original Chalukyan style. It's literally a building that wears its history right there on its walls.
Just imagine walking into the complex today. The entire area is enclosed by this tall prakara, a massive surrounding wall. You walk through a towered Gopuram gateway right into a rectangular mandapa. And as you move deeper into the space, you pass through the Mukha Mandapa and Ardha Mandapa, which are these grand entrance chambers, before finally reaching the main Garbhagudi, the inner sanctum, which is topped by a towering Vimana. The current structure really is a sprawling complex, filled with these gorgeous pillared halls designed for massive religious gatherings.
Section 4. The Haridra Tirtha Tank, the sacred waters.
Right outside that structure is a massive 360-meter square water tank that totally dominates the foreground of the temple. Now, historically, the original name of this beautiful water tank was the Harish Chandra Tirtha. But you know how it goes over centuries of local use and linguistic adaptation, like a giant historical game of telephone, that name became corrupted into the modern version we use today, Haradra Tirtha.
And the living traditions tied to this water are just incredible. I absolutely love this specific detail because it really highlights the deep emotional trust the locals have in the goddess. Local custom actually dictates that newborn babies are placed in these small, delicate cradles made of banana leaves and left to float on a raft in this Kalyani or sacred pool. It's such a powerful, poignant ritual to seek the goddess's blessings for the children's futures.
But from an engineering standpoint, this kank isn't just a simple pool, it's a full-blown architectural marvel. It's encircled by a pradakshina, which is a pathway for pilgrims to walk around the sacred water. 3 of its sides are beautifully framed by stone mandapas. It's flanked by these really tall deepastambas, or lamp pillars. And perhaps most fascinating of all, it's guarded by a rare Victory Tower sentinel right on the bank. Historians note this tower reflects a super unique blend of Hindu and Islamic architectural styles, which is a true hallmark of the Maratha age.
Section 5. The Vegetable Goddess, Nourishment in Times of Drought.
Okay, so we've talked about a fierce warrior, and we've talked about a royal protector. But she is also intimately tied to the very survival of everyday, ordinary people. And here we get another incredible linguistic clue to her identity. Alongside Banashankari, she is widely known as Shakambhari. This name is formed from shaka, meaning vegetables or vegan food, and ambari, meaning one who bears or one who feeds the hungry. Literally, she is the vegetable goddess.
So why is she called this? Well, the ancient texts tell us that during a period of ravaging, absolute devastating drought, the people were starving to death. The goddess Banashankari was so moved by their terrible plight that she quenched the thirst of Mother Earth with her own tears. And then, to satiate the people's hunger, she miraculously created an abundance of vegetables. It's an amazing story, and it beautifully ties back to our core theme today. She defeated the demon to protect the sages, and she wept to nourish the starving earth. She is, at once, both a warrior and a provider.
And this brilliantly illustrates why she remains so deeply, deeply loved today through all these vibrant living traditions. For example, during the Palada Haba or vegetable festival, the goddess is offered an astounding 108 varieties of vegetable curries just to honor her role as a provider. Every January or February, the town hosts the Banashankari Jatra, which is this massive 4-week annual fair where people literally arrive from all over the state. During the Rath Yatra, the goddess parades through the streets in a gigantic, heavy wooden chariot. Devotees also light these special lemon lamps during the Rahu Kala to ward off bad luck, and to this very day, she proudly remains the beloved patron deity of the Devanga weaver community.
So we have explored a single historic site that holds a multitude of identities, from a fierce warrior born of fire, wielding a sword and severing heads, to a weeping mother who feeds starving people with fresh vegetables. So what does the evolution of Banashankari tell us about the ultimate nature of divine protection? Well, I think it leaves us with a truly fascinating paradox to ponder. It challenges how we think about the ways ancient cultures defined what it means to be truly protected and nourished, and how those powerful beliefs are literally carved into the stones that we can still visit today.